We do have a tornado warning that's in store for Chico County at this time here, and you can see it is producing lots of lightning. I just mentioned this just a few minutes ago that we were going to see some of these potentially spin up to a possible tornado. Now, for example, we could get hailstones that could be big as grapefruits, baseballs, tennis balls, and usually that's because of the updraft speeds are over 100 miles an hour. I'll show you this example in just a moment. But over time, you can see that these hailstones begin to get too heavy for the updraft, and it begins to fall to the surface as our hail. Right here, as you can see right there, it gets too heavy, and usually gravity takes over. Of course, when gravity takes over, it falls to the ground, and that's how we get our hail. Now, over time, you can see, and you get an updraft speed that's about 35 miles an hour. You get maybe a pea-sized hail. That's really not much of a factor. But the stronger the wind speeds are, you can see how big these hailstones could become. And yes, they could become as big as softball-sized hail over time. It's going to be tomorrow evening where we're going to start seeing action begin to develop, and that's going to be all start to this low pressure system that's going to be bringing us rain. Now you can see it move its way east going into the evening hours on your Tuesday. Some of this could mix in with some pinks, meaning that's freezing rain, and blues indicated snow. After that, we're going to get really cold. And look at these winds coming out of the north. That's going to indicate really cold air that's going to push its way to even the parts of the coast, and it could be even cold in some of those areas where they're not accustomed to seeing, but that's what we're going to see on our Wednesday or Thursday. But first, we got to deal with these rain showers. Again, some of them going to be heavy, but the biggest thing we have to worry about will be those rain showers and freezing rain. And freezing rain meaning that some of the roads could be slick. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Presqu'Île and Alpena counties right now. We have 1.25-inch hail reported in our area. Now, right now, we do see some pop-up showers of thunderstorms in the area. Some of these are producing some very heavy rain, even some frequent lightning at times. So again, of course, here's a demonstration of that. Here's a cold front, here's a low pressure system, here's a warm front. Generally ahead of these warm fronts or cold fronts, you see warmer, more moist air. And again, behind that, we see some cooler, drier, more dense air. Now, of course, cooler air is denser than warmer air, which is a lot lighter, and it tends to rise. And once we get that point, then we start to see, again, showers of thunderstorms develop. Now, let's have a look at my full forecast. Welcome back, everybody. Here's a live view off the convention center, parts of Greenville. You can see we're under clear skies at this time, but those clear skies are going to be turning to cloudy skies as we go through the early morning hours, and those clouds are going to be a sign of moisture. It's going to be headed in our direction, and that's going to be the case as we go through your evening hours tomorrow. Thanks to North Mississippi Storm Chasers for this camera view. And as we go through, you might also notice there's a winter weather advisory for parts of Charleston area, which is Tallahatchie County, and that's going to go into 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time here. That means that some of the showers that we're coming through could mix in with some freezing rain. Even a few snowflakes cannot be ruled out along with that. At this hour, we're pretty quiet. We're going to remain quiet. It's going to be tomorrow evening where we're going to start seeing action begin to develop, and that's going to be all start to this low pressure system that's going to be bringing us rain. Now you can see it move its way east going into the evening hours on your Tuesday. Some of this could mix in with some pinks, meaning that's freezing rain, and blues indicated snow. After that, we're going to get really cold. And look at these winds coming out of the north. That's going to indicate really cold air that's going to push its way to even the parts of the coast, and it could be even cold in some of those areas where they're not accustomed to seeing, but that's what we're going to see on our Wednesday or Thursday. But first, we got to deal with these rain showers. Again, some of them going to be heavy, but the biggest thing we have to worry about will be those rain showers and freezing rain. And freezing rain meaning that some of the roads could be slick, and those overpasses and those high roads are going to be the most susceptible to seeing freezing rain and some slick areas. So if you are going to be going out to tomorrow evening, that will be a hazard that you will have to be content with. Temperatures, on the other hand, is not going to be something we have to content with, not going to be freezing cold yet. But our clouds are going to be increasing. As you can see, by the time we get to 4 a.m., we're going to be hanging into the mid-30s, and overnight lows are going to be in the low 30s. Wouldn't be surprised if some spots make it into the upper 20s as we go through the overnight hours. Now, Yazoo City is going to be at 35 degrees at 30 in Grenada. Our high temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s. 49 in Grenada, 54 for Yazoo City, 50 for Hollandale, 51 for Lake Providence and McGee. going to be the cold spot, sitting at only 42 degrees. Pretty similar to what we saw today. Now, Cleveland has a temperature of 37 degrees, wind chill readings at 32 and 38 for Greenwood, and we are at 37 in Cleveland with no wind chill reported. Our high temperatures today made it up to 43 in Greenville. Overnight lows got down to 32. That's 15 degrees below average for this time of the year. 8 degrees below average in Greenwood in terms of temperatures, high temperatures. 51 was their high, and Cleveland saw a high temperature of only 42 degrees, and they were 14 degrees below average for this time of the year. Some other temperatures around the region, well, we are 32 in Batesville, the freezing mark, 34 in Clarksdale, but 42 in Vicksburg, 39 in Jackson, 40 in Monroe, 36 in El Dorado, and Pine Bluff is sitting at 37 degrees with those winds factored in. Wind chills make it feel like it's only in the upper 20s, 26 in Clarksdale, but a little bit warmer as you go further south. But these wind chills are going to become more of a factor later on in the week when we're going to start seeing them drop into the teens, into the single digits, and that's what's going to really feel cold outside too. So get ready for that as you go forward. Clouds are going to be a factor for most of your day tomorrow, especially as we go to the evening hours, as that moisture does arrive into our area, and our temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s to low 50s. So again, becoming mostly cloudy tonight. Chilly with those east winds at 10 miles an hour. 33 degrees is going to be the overnight low. 46 for your high on your Tuesday. Showers going to be arriving later in the afternoon to the early evening hours. Those east winds gusting as high as 19 miles an hour. So it will be breezy along with the showers that's going to be pushing through, because that's going to be a cold front that's going to be coming through, or the cold front going to be mostly to our south. And then our temperatures are going to fall off. Wednesday, 31, 26 on Thursday. Look at those overnight lows, Earl. 14 with single-digit wind chill readings. And then on Friday, it's going to be the same. Then we warm back up a little bit.